some time now. Hello everyone, by the way. I've been wanting to make a video about certain exotics and why I like them. Now my current favourite exotic is the Riskrunner. Rargh! I'm an arc-killing machine! Punch me, Thrall! Oi, Thrall! Come and punch me, Thrall! Get! I am God here! Punch me, punch me, punch me! Punch me! Come on, punch me! Punch me! You! Punch me, you! You! Punch me, you! Oh, bum. It is ridiculous when it gets going. Come on! It's great fun. I mean, it's great fun. Go away, you! Feel my voltage. So, interested in getting one? Well, later on in the video, I'll show you how everyone can get one. You probably already know, but it's all already built into the game for us to be able to go and pick up a Riskrunner and the Catalyst, which is marvellous. But first I thought we'd go over the weapon a little bit and see the best way to use it and really good builds that help you get the best out of this marvellous arse-kicking gun. Well, as you can see here, it's a 900 round per minute monster, which is great. It's got a huge range, particularly after the masterwork. But the good thing about it, the best thing about it, and its unique perk is the Arc Conductor and the Superconductor perks. Now, the Arc Conductor makes the shots more powerful and makes you more resistant to arc damage, which of course is very, very handy. And with the Arc Conductor active, you can then use the Superconductor perk, which chains lightning to every other enemy around. There's a chance of it. It doesn't happen every single time, but it's at a very high rate that it happens. Not only does it chain lightning, but it also returns ammo to the mag. So in theory, if you keep killing, you keep getting ammo, and you can go on forever and ever, even until your clip runs out. It's amazing them both working together in perfect killing harmony. So then, let's get on to how to trigger the Arc Conductor. Now usually you have to do it by receiving some form of arc damage. Now the sources of arc damage are of course plentiful in the game. Basically anybody who shoots you with blue energy, they're gobbing arc energy at you. But a Thrall melee is actually an arc attack, so that'll trigger it off. Also Vex Milk, you know, puddles from the little exploded goblins that poison you normally, they'll kick off your Arc Conductor. And also, actual walking through puddles of Vex Milk, you wander around on Nessus, you can be a superconducting, arc-conducting monster. So there's loads of sources for it. But what happens if you haven't got any arc sources around, or you're fighting enemies who don't lean towards arc? They might lean towards the solar aspect of it. Like the Vex, who can be more void, or the Cabal, who can tend to be more solar. So what do? Well, you can trigger it yourself. You don't have to wait around for some other arc person to punch your face in. You can do it yourself. Now, this is called proccing or self-proccing. You might read this around the place. All it means is a special procedure, a set of certain conditions that are met in order to trigger the Arc Conductor. And of course, the special conditions that need to be met is receiving arc damage. So sadistically, you want to give yourself some arc damage, and the best way to do that is to chuck an arc grenade at your feet. So pick an arc subclass and away to go. A few tips if you're using a Titan or any class where you can double up on grenades, really. The Striker subclass, if you use the top tree, you can get an additional grenade, so that's quite handy, so you can have two in reserve to trigger it off whenever you need to. But also, you can help yourself by adding things into your armor, certain armor perks that'll help your grenade renew quicker. Now you can use something called Bomber, which goes into your class armor, and what happens there is that when you use your class ability, it accelerates the recharge rate of your grenade, and you can stack it more than once. You can stick it twice into a particular slot, like you can see I've done here. So that does increase the rate at which the grenade recharges. Now aside from the arc grenades, you could also use the Fine Memorial machine gun. Reason being, it's a arc machine gun and it's got ricochet rounds on it, like you can see here. And I was reading around and about on Reddit that if you can get a ricochet round to bounce off a surface and strike you, it's going to be an arc attack, and that will also proc your Arc Conductor and Superconductor. but I did find it very difficult to do, because when you're standing and trying to shoot yourself on the feet, that doesn't work. So you're trying to shoot yourself in a rock and it bounces off all over the bloody place. It's ridiculous. So you may have the knack to do it, but unfortunately I didn't. I go with the grenade thing. It's hard to get it to hit you. So I like to run that, and I also like to run it with the AC/DC feedback fences, because you just look like a massive arc killing machine then, and things can't sneak up behind you because you're going to destroy them with your electric arms. It's marvellous. I'm an arc killing machine. I recommend you do it. You can use it in all sorts of situations. Of course, when you go to the higher levels, everything gets a little bit tricky, but running Escalation Protocol, Altar of Sorrow, the Menagerie, the Blind Well, anything like that, heroic events, it's hilarious fun. You just really enjoy it, and basically you end up feeling kind of invulnerable and electric. Now, if you don't have the gun, why the hell have you been watching all this? Ha ha ha! No, only joking. This is where I tell you how you're going to get it. If you haven't already, and I'm sure some of you have seen this, it's called Risk and Reward, and it gets started by visiting the gunsmith. So once you pick that up, first of all, the first steps are very, very easy. You have to do a Lost Sector, a heroic public event, and a Nightfall. A Nightfall? Any Nightfall will do. Just do one, and then that'll get you on to the next step, which is called Pain and Gain. And it's a great mission. This is a reprise of the first mission from D1. Not really a reprise, but you go to the same area. And I won't show you the entire mission itself because it's fun to do. There's a little bit of a jumping puzzle in it, but it's quite easy and straightforward to follow. So I don't really want to spoil it for you. But what I would recommend that you do, before you go into the jumpy, go and get the Riskrunner bit, there's a part where you have to kill 3 captains, 3 powerful captains, and that then allows you to continue on into the mission. But during that part, there's a large fallen walker that drops down into the middle of the area. And every time you kill the walker, in the treasure chest that comes afterwards, you can pick up some nice goodies. And what I got, and indeed what all of you can get, is the original Generalist shell for your ghost. You can also get your new ship. The name escapes me, it's here on screen. And also you can get the Khavostov machine gun, which is the first machine gun you actually pick up in Destiny. So you get all these things for lovely nostalgia reasons, and they're also damned pretty too. And the Khavostov, people think, is a very, very good gun. I don't use it myself because there's so many bloody guns in Destiny, they're falling out of your backside. Anyway, back to the Riskrunner. Now, once you acquire it at the end of this particular mission, you also get the Masterwork, and I do recommend that you Masterwork it. It's just kills and kills and kills, basically, until you fulfill the criteria, but it extends the range so much. Look at it! Look at that bar! It's ridiculous! It's like walking the plank! It's huge! So I would really recommend you do that, because you could administer pretty swift kickings from a good distance. And have you all noticed how SMGs really are ruling the roost this particular season? I don't know why that is. I've never really gone for them, but between this and the Recluse and the Subjunctive from the Moon, they're 3 really good guns. Of course, the only problem with the Riskrunner is if you want to run it, that means you can't use any other exotic, which is also a bit of a bum. So my advice to you is, use the Recluse! No, don't use the Recluse, use the Riskrunner, have some fun, electrocute people till their eyes pop. That's what I'd recommend. Anyway, I hope you found this useful, or at least slightly diverting and amusing. And if not, well, watch it again, that'll be great, and then you might. Anyway, I'm going now, goodbye. Oh bugger, I forgot about the Huckleberry. Time Sausages Gaming Channel.